So the final trailer has gone online for the conclusion of the saga of Thor and What? They're still calling it The Hobbit. Really? So the new trailer for The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies is out, and I gotta be honest, I wasn't planning to talk about this thing, partially because I'm getting over a cold, but funny thing, I actually got a request to talk about this, and with as few subscribers as I have, I'm not about to ignore that. So you guys, this is for you. You know, if you saw my thoughts on the first teaser that showed up for this movie, you're gonna hear a lot of the same stuff. This is not Bilbo's story. I'll grant you this, he is the first voice and the first character that we actually see, but you know what the first word that comes out of his mouth is? Thorin. Yes, Thorin Oakenshield. This has become his story pretty much completely at this point. And I'm not saying that Thorin's a bad character, but this shift just completely emphasizes how badly these movies missed the point of the book. The book is a fun, jaunty adventure. It's not meant to be an epic. Yes, he's helping these dwarves, and for them this is an epic struggle, but it's supposed to be from the perspective of Bilbo, who's just along for the ride. He's there for the adventure, and there's no sense of adventure in this thing because they've gone too big, too spectacle, too ominous. And I'm gonna consider this a potential spoiler. You know the part in the trailer where Bilbo takes the ring and he puts the ring on and vanishes? That's like, it's towards the end. That is the entirety of his involvement in the Battle of the Five Armies. Bilbo does not take part in this thing. He puts the ring on and hides. Now, that's in the book. I'm sure they'll have him skewer somebody with his sword at some point, just to try in some sort of lip service manner to validate the title of The Hobbit. But the Battle of Five Armies isn't the point. It's not the massive climax conclusion of this story. It's a footnote. It's an afterthought. The climax of the story is Smaug. It's the dragon. That is what everything is building towards. That is what the climax of the book is. Yes, the Battle of the Five Armies happens. But again, because it's from Bilbo's perspective, very little time is spent on it because he's not an active participant. And now they're gonna basically spend an entire movie on this one battle, and they're trying to go bigger than Helm's Deep. They're trying to go bigger than the battle of the Pelennor Fields. The trailer has the audacity to call this battle the defining moment of the Middle-earth legend. What? I'm sorry, unless you were really heavily into these books and had just read The Hobbit once, read Lord of the Rings once, there's a pretty good chance you didn't even remember the Battle of the Five Armies happened. And you know, I've now realized exactly why they pulled the complete BS ending they did at the end of Desolation of Smaug. Because if they'd finished that story with what is the very obvious way that it has to end, and you know what? I'm not even going to consider this a spoiler. If you were paying attention at all, you know exactly how this is going to play out and exactly how the dragon is going to die. Yes, the dragon dies. I mean, you should have guessed that by now. He's nowhere to be seen in this new trailer. You know why? They're going to wrap him up within 20 minutes. And the only reason it is being held over was to make sure the audiences came back. Because if they'd finished it, if they finished the story of the Desolation of Smaug and had it ended where it should have ended with the death of the dragon, people wouldn't have come back. They would have gone, story's over, isn't it? Sure, people would have still come back, but they wouldn't have felt the driving need because it's like, well, story's finished, isn't it? That's what the Battle of the Five Armies is. It's like, story's finished, isn't it? Are we still going? And to avoid them having to have that kind of problem, what they do, they cut it off 20 minutes before the story actually ends so that they force audiences to come back to catch the end of what should have been the end of the last movie, and then they string us along with however long this battle is. And it's a battle. It's one battle. It's not a war. It's not a series of skirmishes. It's one stupid battle. And I'm not saying stupid because I'm annoyed with it. The reason that it happens is stupid. I don't mean story, I don't mean structure. I mean the motivations and the reasons that everything comes to a head and a battle actually happens is a dumb reason. It makes sense, it's consistent with the characters, but it's a stupid reason for as many people to die as end up dying. Which then makes it a very stupid thing to make the central premise of your movie, and now to claim it's the defining moment of the Middle-earth saga, oh, bite me. This is bad. I'm actually getting angrier as I even talk about it. I hadn't been all that annoyed by the trailer because honestly I hadn't given it that much thought, but the more I think about it, the more I talk about it, just the angrier I get with what these movies are. Because I don't think that my expectation of what they should have been is that far off the mark. I thought they should have been The Hobbit, the book that I read and loved and wanted to see on the screen, and they're not that. It's the same characters that's set on Middle-earth, but the feel is completely wrong. Bilbo, who is the title character, is completely sidelined. The whole thing, it just drives me insane. I'm still gonna go to the theater to check it out. Because I've sunk the time for the last two, I might as well finish this damn thing off. So have you seen this trailer for what will hopefully be the last entry in the, what are they gonna call it now? The Middle-earth saga? Who even knows? But what did you think about the trailer? Did it make you more excited? Did it make you more angry? Did you even register that it came out? Whatever it is, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Until next time, this council is adjourned.